Are we working? Lovely. I thought I'd just chuck myself on a stream. I meant to do this earlier, but stuff to do. So I've been wanting to improve my graffiti work because I'm not very confident with it. I think it probably goes back down to, I had a comment on an older piece and someone kind of said it's not really graffiti, and but quite a few people said it was, and I was like, not sure. 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24, 25, 26, 30, 31, 32, 33, 34, 35, 36, 37, 38, 42, 21. Let's do a 10. 3, 4, 5, 6, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Cool, that'll do. 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17. 44, 45, 46, 47, 45. 6, 23. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Okay. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Okay. Sorry about that. Yeah. So graffiti stuff. It's probably my favourite type of art. It's certainly up there, and I've wanted to do more graffiti pieces, but I'm not quite confident. I did 2 pieces in my new sketchbook, but I'm not happy with them. So the 2 that I've done so far are these 2. I quite like the lettering of this one, but I don't know, there's something about it. This one I thought the colours would work quite well, but again, I think I shouldn't have separated it with the thin black marker. Not bad, but I'm just not happy with them. So I'm gonna... Sorry, I'm just munching on a cough sweet. I'm still under the weather. Someone's joined already. Hello, welcome, thank you for joining. Yeah, so I've neglected the graffiti stuff, so I thought, no, come on, I really want to improve on it, so let's get back into it. In fact, what I'll do is I'll bring up some previous work, because I've not done it in a while. I'm just getting some reference up of some graffiti lettering I did before. It's actually in this book, so I can't look at it, but I posted it on my Instagram. There it is. I think what I want to do is I want to make it look like my sketchbook pieces, but I couldn't figure out how to do it, and I did one piece that was in the style of my sketchbook pieces and I really liked it, and then I got a comment saying that it wasn't really graffiti, so that kind of made me think, shall I bother doing it then? Like I said, most people, a couple of people said, well it is, because it's abstract lettering. And I think because since then I've not really done it like that. I've tried to make it look more like sort of what you would call traditional graffiti, if you like. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. But I've just not really been happy with any of the work that I've done, so I kind of not gave up on it, but I just thought, not really sure. Because normally, even though I wouldn't be showing anything, I'd still try and practice it. But I've neglected it quite a lot recently, so I thought, no, if that's what you really want to do, then, you know, go back and actually start making it look like, make an effort with it. Because there's some really good graffiti artists out there who make their letters look more abstract than what you would call like traditional style. And at first I thought it was just random shapes, so that when I looked into it, Modi is the one who comes into mind. You actually see it and it's like, oh, that's really, really good. And I thought, why can't I perhaps do that? Because all my normal sketchbook work, it's just regular sort of shapes. So I don't know why I can't apply that to, oh, excuse me. Yeah, I don't know why I can't apply that to my graffiti stuff. In fact, do I still have it? I'll use that as a reference because it's in this book. So the one that I'm talking about is, I don't think I put that one up. That was the first one I put up, I think. Yeah, I actually really like that. That one, it's a bit maybe too abstract. That one I quite like. See, I like the lettering of that one, but background could be better. That's a bit too abstract. Quite like that one. That's, again, maybe a bit too abstract. That one, I really, really like that, but yeah, a few people were like, well, no, it's a few, one. I think I let that one comment live in my head rent free, to be honest, and that's probably, I'd say definitely one of my best bits. I could work on the M a little bit. But yeah, we'll see. Don't know how long this stream's going to go for, but doesn't matter. think with a lot more of sort of traditional graffiti pieces as well, the letters tend to overlap. Whereas on this one at least, it hasn't. So if I bring up my sketchbook, so the idea is to merge my sketchbook pieces with what would be thought of traditionally as a graffiti style. Where is he? Oh dear. Not happy with that J. The tricky thing about this is with my
community.
Yeah, tricky thing about this one is keeping the shape of the letters. Like in my other sketchbook drawings, the shapes were allowed to be random. I think I've got the centre off on this one. So it doesn't really matter, whereas this, you've got to keep the shape of the letters. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 7, 8, 9, 10, 20, 21, 22, 23. Oh, I've messed it up, my maths is off, and it's 28, not 23. 26, 27, 28, it's meant to be here. What a doofus. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. That's just on the line. Never mind. Okie dokie. Yeah, I needed more of a cheat sheet for, like I've got with my other sketchbook, I need it for this as well. I've only got like a couple of sort of pages that I've done of graffiti that I've posted that I can look from. I need to do more. Like I've done a fair few in this book. There you go, that's what I'm looking for. No. Keep every letter as an individual shape. It's harder to do when I'm splitting each letter into shapes themselves, but Nope, don't like that. Right, I don't mind that. But now the trick is, so I can get this far and I quite like it. I quite like the lettering, but then when it comes to colouring it, I tend to not pick sort of the best colour format for it. But I think if I just follow, like in the tutorial that I'm writing at the minute to help me along with my drawings, which has helped, like the last few drawings I've done in my sketchbook I've been really happy with. If I just follow sort of this formula here, but just make the sort of basic shapes a bit more, obviously make them stand out more as letters as opposed to just random shapes. Just follow the same process and I think I'll be okay. So like start with the outline, then thicken out the lines, whatever lines need thickening out. I think the only difference is the detail. So with this one, it works well because the detail is just about limited enough. So all I've done here is just sort of an inline, well, an outline that follows the basic shape of the letter with just a few lines. I mean, the only letter it doesn't really work on here is the M. The M's a bit too muddled up, but every other letter, like, you can see what it is. So if I don't make it like ultra detailed, you know, obviously make some details in it, but don't sort of hammer it. Have enough of an outline where you can still see the basic shape of the lettering. It doesn't have to be sort of overly complicated. And as well, I think sometimes I'm too keen to sort of overlap it like this. So when you have an overlapping line, like a lot of traditional graffiti pieces have that, but it doesn't, at least I don't think it fits with the kind of art style that I've started doing. So I need to try and avoid that because I don't think it will necessarily work. But if I outline it the same way that I outline my sketchbook pieces, it's come loose. Yes. Then it could work. So it doesn't have to be ultra neat because this is just practice. Let's just start work with the first sort of half. So where's my sketchbook? So with angled pieces, like, because I'm thinking more this. So if I can basically get this kind of thing mapped onto that, I think it could work. But we'll see what everyone else thinks. But yeah, I think like anyone, like when there's a specific part of your art that you really want to do but you're not confident in it, or it's not to a standard that you like, you tend to neglect it and avoid it. Like I said, I've not really done anything with my graffiti work. I started in this sketchbook drawing quite a lot of stuff, and I've been quite happy with the lettering side of it. Like I started to get the hang of what kind of lettering I like to draw, and you know, I kind of carved out a style that was more unique to me. But like I say, there's two pieces I did in my sketchbook that I just didn't like the way I coloured them. And obviously you use other artists to try and inspire you, but I think I was sort of doing things that were too close to what they were doing, so none of my pieces really worked. Because I wasn't confident enough to sort of do it on my own, or to really sort of lean into my own style. But with my sketchbook pieces, I've started to be a lot more confident with them, finally. So I really look forward to doing them now. Like I say, with these ones, it was from about that one. That one, but I tried to be a bit too perfect, but this one is the one that really sets it off. And then these last two I've been really, really happy with. Like I've got them done in good time. And so with this one, it's kind of the same thing. It's with the graffiti, it's just you've got to try and map that, what you're doing in here, what I'm doing in my sketchbook, onto graffiti pieces. Is there a way I can do it? So if I follow the steps, so the detail then would be I don't know, how would I do this? How would I split it up? Well, in fact, I'll just try this. Just keep it simple for now. If I just do a line, just split it up, say exactly here. Nothing fancy, nothing, not going too complicated. And if I end up liking this, I'll make my next graffiti piece. And then if I follow like I did before, I'll try this, so practicing it. I think 2 lines will probably work better. In fact, that actually works because it kind of follows the sort of shape of the letter. I've slightly fluked this, but so that could work. I say could. Could end up looking like I might do a pass in pen as well on that one, and then do the top colour. Yeah, I'll do a pass with this one in pen before I do it, because like I said, the 2 that I did in my other sketchbook I thought looked really good, and then I did a pass with the colour and I weren't happy with them. I thought they looked a bit meh. And then a basic background. It won't be exactly like this, but let me get there now. I'll do a crack on with the background. But yeah, it doesn't have to be massively complicated or overly fancy. I don't know, I quite like that. I might do another. I might do another pass with that one. Start simpler and then try and, I don't know, branch out into more complicated lettering. It's tricky though, because it's trying to keep the outline of the letters as well to make it 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Still make it readable. But there's a graffiti artist, DRMLZ, and some of their pieces you can't quite make out that. You can, because you know what it says beforehand, but if you didn't know what it was supposed to say, then you might have trouble. But their work is still amazing, and that's kind of what I want mine to be. Like I say, Modiah, I don't know how to pronounce that. Like at first it just looks like a random selection of shapes, but then when you get into it you can see where the letters are, and it's, like I said, it's simple but really, really good. And I think for me it's just trying to get to that level, so to speak. Like, and I find ends really hard. because of the blocky sort of nature, or because of the sort of three prongs of them. Like a B is a bit better because it's a big block that you can make, like here, like with the A and the I, you can make it abstract, a bit more abstract without having the hole in it. Same with the B. The M I find really, really hard. I mean, in this style where you're angling the lines, it's easier, but when I'm trying to make it a bit more, so when I'm trying to turn, say, like this, when I'm trying to turn, say, that into an M, it's a bit harder. Like, I think the first, in fact, what I should do really, because I use a lot of U shapes in that one, where I do this. So if I do this, let's try this. If I go around like that. Could I get away with this? No, because it looks like an A. That's the problem with it. But it's the gaps between. I'd have to spread that out a bit more. A bit more. So I need, what, here? So where's the one right here? Because yeah, like on this one, the piece that I really like, the M was the trickiest thing. It's just a jumble of shapes. You can't really make out the M, whereas I think every other letter you can. So the way I do it is I kind of detail the. But I don't want it to be a boring one of these. I just don't want it to be that. I want it to be a bit more interesting than that. But where's my... How did I do it before? Like I kind of made it a bit easier because I kind of did this. So maybe if I do it this way then, to keep make it more narrow, I do this. Could I get away with that? Would that work? So I've still got sort of the normal sort of details that I would normally have. Does that work as an M? Kind of. Maybe if I sort of have these details a bit further out, you can kind of see it. Because the A is a bit easy, the A is just a stand sort of basically wrap around, and you can, the thing is you can manipulate the middle bit a bit better. It's like if I were to do this. Yeah, and then detail the middle bit how I normally do. Yeah, because then what I'd normally do is the sort of the inside bits, I'd grey them out. So to make it look inset from the rest of it, so if I were to sort of lightly grey it. Yeah, sort of grey them out like that. To to make it look set inwards. Yeah, I think that could work. There you go, that looks more like an A. It's a little bit basic, but just starting out, just trying to make it readable for now, and then you can go a bit more advanced. Like, this is a very basic looking J. And maybe if I have that. I think that's alright, and then if we can do the B would be a much bigger sort of loop. So if we had it like this, and then the top bit, just a standard block. Yeah, that works, so it doesn't, and then I could have like my normal details like this in the middle. Before grey them in, so it gives it the impression that it's inset. And the other details with this kind of sketch, so like, don't see it as much in my last drawing, but there's a good example of this. Yeah, that's probably about it. On the purple one here, so there's a lot more sort of grills. So I could maybe apply that, say to the J. So if I do it here, for example, on the J, and then just go. There you go, that gives it a bit more. There you go. There you go. Yeah, that's why you do these little sessions. You come up with ideas, don't you? Ways of improving. But already, like, I'm quite happy with that. It looks much better. Like, the way I've just followed the principles of like my other drawings. It's a more coherent shape. Like, it's just much better. You know, why can't I make that work? I can. And if I wanted to change it up with the A, so if I wanted to say, I don't know, make it a bit more narrow here. No, because that'd look like an R, wouldn't it? I'd have to do it the other way. Like if I were to do sort of a thin A, that's what I was going for with this, and then have a bit of blockier thing here. But the problem is, because that's the way the R wraps around, so I'd have to do it the other way. So if I were to do this, for example, so have a block. Like that. And then I could go in here with my details as normal. I might, because I'm doing my Artaza series tomorrow, I might do another live stream on Saturday just to flesh these ideas out. Maybe pen them in some way. And then with the R, maybe go the other way. It's a bit too... I don't mind the R being that. There you go. So just have your normal outside details like before. I've not thickened up the outside properly, but it doesn't matter. And then the normal details would be, you have your inside lines like this. It would help distinguish the letter more. That's the idea. Follow it on the inside like I do with my sketchbook drawings. There you go. There you go. And then just put your background in as normal. But I think that's come out all right. I might do a more fleshed out version of that. Now, see, I quite like this, but they're like massively different. But then, yeah, I mean, I don't have to have exactly the same type of letters. I could do two different styles. I mean, they do technically match up with my sketchbook drawings. yeah, I quite like this, so I'm gonna flesh this out more either Saturday or, excuse me, on Saturday or Sunday, if I get a bit of time on those days. If not Saturday or Sunday, depending on what we're doing at the weekend. I think we're doing busy at the weekend, but yeah, definitely get more practice on this. See, the perfect marriage, I haven't done this yet, so the perfect marriage of these two is this. And I do quite like that one, but I've not done anything really similar to that. I think I've always had a bit of an insecurity about my graffiti lettering, because there's a graffiti artist who I love called I'll try and find him now. Where is he? Kesty. And they do graffiti pieces that would, like, you look at it and it's, you know, very much what you would associate graffiti with. Like, you see it straight when you're, yeah, that's definitely graffiti. But it's so, like, I love their work so much because it's so simple, and or they make it look simple, and they do a lot of sort of overlapping. What I mean by overlapping lines is this. So if you've got, say, two shapes, whereas I prefer to sort of have shapes fully overlapping, like this, or next to each other, or not overlapping at all, like this. I prefer to kind of do that with my sketches. Graffiti pieces tend to do this. See what I mean? They overlap like that. None of my sketchbook pieces, or very few of them, really do that. And it looks great. Like, I should really, I think, oh, have I? I think and then you can maybe detail it like this, like follow the lines around. I think I started doing similar to that. Where's my old book? The very first drawing in this one, that. So I'd overlap the lines like that here, but then the inset line, I'd make it one sort of individual shape, or I'd try and follow the letters. And I quite like that. I've done another couple of practice bits like that before. But it didn't really feel like my style. But then I did that, which I really like, because it, obviously the grates, it was more my sort of work. And that one as well. Like, you can kind, I mean, that's maybe a little too abstract, like the J, the A you can see, the M, the B is just a no. Oh no, I think that was meant to be the B, but the R you can see. But I think that one and that one, I think they probably would be a better combo. Like, I'll try and sort of do something like that now. I do quite like that, but they're all, the only problem is they're all individual shapes. That one probably works better. Like, you can see the M a bit more there because of the diagonal line down. No, that doesn't work. Yeah, I don't know why I didn't sort of revisit that, if you like. See the thing with an M as well, because you've got the middle point, otherwise it can look too much like an M. Not an M, an N, sorry. But like with the inside detail, if I do maybe that. Then I could possibly get away with it. Yeah, because that. Yeah, so if I do this. Like I did before, and then. Because what I did before is I had the sort of panels, if you like. That probably wouldn't work with. How do I look on the other one? Yeah, sort of bulkier on the other pieces, so I wouldn't necessarily have the panels on this one, or the insert, whatever you want to call it. Yeah, and then have the pattern, then have like the grill underneath. Because then it would be this. Oops. I'd probably have that a bit wider than it is, but the idea is there. I'll probably make these letters a little bit wider, but like I say, just for the purpose of just testing out the lettering. Can I get away with that, or does it look too much like a bee? Perhaps just about, maybe. But I do quite like that. Obviously I'll do the lines in the same way that I always do them, like a bit thicker with a couple of extra sort of doohickeys on them as well. Yeah, I think that's probably how I'll do it with mine, is keep the letters as separate shapes as opposed to overlapping. I'll probably mess about with overlapping a bit later when I get a bit better, a bit more comfortable. I don't like that M. That part of the M doesn't need to be like that. Just have it like that. Yeah, so the basic outline shapes are still the same, and then if I want to add any like doohickeys or whatever, sort of more solid shapes outside it, like that. Can always add to the detail. But then that's a lot clearer, so maybe I could, I don't know, maybe sort of have panel lines kind of like that. I mean, I do quite like that, but it's quite chunky. Nothing wrong with that. But I think if I can bring this closer to this, so because I really like the shapes of these letters. Oh, someone's coming. Hello. Yeah, if I can bring these two together somehow, I think I could genuinely turn my sketchbook drawings into a graffiti style. Like, I've looked at other graffiti artists who you wouldn't associate with, I suppose, traditional style graffiti. I mean, when the traditional stuff's done well, like I say, Kesty earlier, it's so clean and so good, but it's not my style, so to try and imitate that in some way, just it wouldn't work. Like, I've tried that before, and I think with where's my book? Is it this one? Like with that one, like with the overlapping lines, like you can see there and there, I don't think it works with, you can't really see that, I've not even got it on camera, but yeah, all these sort of overlapping, like, I mean, it's alright, but it's not, it didn't really feel like my style. Whereas if I merge, if I try and get it, oh shit, flipping lights falling down. If I can get it, the goal is to get these kind of drawings, more so this one. If I can get these, if I can combine these with, say, the kind of lettering that I'm doing, I might be able to make some really nice graffiti. Like I said, I think it's because I had a comment before where someone was saying it wasn't graffiti, and then a few other people said it was, so it kind of made me shy away from it. But I'm going to come back to it. I'm going to do another live stream. I'm going to try and do another live stream on Sunday, because I think we're at a food market on Saturday. So, and I'm doing my Arteza stream tomorrow. If I get time tomorrow, I'll come back to this and I'll develop this, because I want to get back into doing more lettering stuff. But yeah, we'll see. To anyone who joined, anyone who came in, thanks for showing up. It wasn't the most planned stream. I wanted to do this today, and I thought I'll stream it. If anyone out there does end up seeing this who is into graffiti or art in general, just drop us a comment, see what you think. Can I mix my sketchbook drawings into graffiti? Any advice, anything to help me would be good, because it is a type of art I do want to explore. But yeah, I'll be on tomorrow for my Arteza stream at 12. If you can join me then, that would be appreciated. But thanks for joining. I shall catch you next time.